Our next speaker is Vidar Helgesen, Minister of EEA and EU Affairs and Chief of Staff at the Office of the Prime Minister of Norway. Helgesen is particularly concerned with human rights, refugee issues, peace negotiations, reconciliation processes, and UN policy. Please welcome Vidar Helgesen.
Thank you very much, and let me start by saying that I'm excited to be here to address an audience that is addressing very key issues for Europe. Indeed, key issues for Ukraine, key priorities for Norway, but also key issues for a Europe that maybe in the last couple of months has been occupied with other issues than Ukraine, but nevertheless, European integration, as we know, is at the heart of the Ukraine situation. But the Ukraine situation is also at the heart of the European integration efforts and the credibility of European integration efforts. From Norway's perspective, not being a member of the European Union, but being deeply integrated in European politics, economy, and security, we see European integration being marked by values and principles, by upholding fundamental freedoms, by weaving countries together to promote internal as well as external security, by collaborating to enhance economic prosperity and economic freedom, and at the same time providing citizens with basic social protection. These components of European integration and of the European story are essential, and they are also at the heart of the Ukrainian reform agenda. We know from the European project that achieving all this does take time, and it takes a lot of effort, and it's not a one-off achievement. Europe is tested all the time, and these days tested more than for a very long time. Now, Ukraine has to address these multitude of challenges: security challenges, economic challenges, social challenges, all in one go, and not with a lot of time to get things right, and in very difficult circumstances. Addressing the critical security situation and conflict situation, restarting the economy, reforming public administration, cleaning the judiciary of corruption, nurturing a civil society that can underpin the democratic aspirations of the Ukrainian people, and not least triggering and stimulating the private sector that can carry the Ukrainian society forward. I'm excited that in the midst of all these challenges, there is such an interest in exactly private sector development in Ukraine, in securing investment and in enhancing trade between Norway and Ukraine. Making that happen will hinge on the political and legal framework of Ukraine being sufficiently welcoming and being sufficiently stable. It will hinge on a public sector reform to ensure that public sector acts in predictable ways towards market actors. And not least, it will hinge on making progress in combating corruption. I know all these issues have been under discussion here today and will indeed be under discussion at the panel. From the perspective of Norway, we have geared up our support for Ukrainian reform efforts, both in terms of technical support, political support, and financial support. We are prepared to stay with Ukraine throughout, but the main responsibility, of course, lies with Ukrainian reform efforts, and accompanying them, learning more and supporting them along the way will remain a priority for the Norwegian government, even in a situation when Europe is coping with a lot of other diverse challenges, or maybe exactly because Europe needs to be able to cope with diverse challenges and not forget Ukraine in the context of other pressing challenges. So with those remarks, I'd like to thank you and say that I look forward to the continued discussion.